And we are live. Hello everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Paul Grogan and tonight I'm going to be doing a two-player playthrough of Marvel Champions. Did one of these last week with Rado, Richard Ham, and that was a lot of fun and quite successful, although we did fail. So back for more this week. Going to be doing a two-player playthrough of the game. Whilst this isn't going to be a full tutorial of the game, I am going to be talking through a few of the steps as we go along for the start of the game, just for anybody who is tuning in, who doesn't actually know anything about the game. So yes, thank you very much to everybody who's watching. We are live at the moment on YouTube and Twitch. I'm now going to switch over to the overhead camera and say hello to my special guest for this evening, Mark Sorastro. And this is where you unmute your microphone, Mark, and say hello. There you go. Thank you for coming in. Now, you're down in sunny Brighton. You can. You will have to just mute that yourself. So if you're watching it on Twitch, there is a volume control. Gotcha. Thank you. There you go. Right. Okay. Jerome's here on the Twitch chat who said that he couldn't hear you, but hopefully you can now. We've got a few people on YouTube as well. So Mark's based in sunny Brighton. Obviously, we're all stuck at home at the moment, but you do most of your work from home anyway.
Yes, that's right. One of the lucky few that can just crack on more or less as usual, to be honest.
Yeah. So for those people who don't know, Mark is well known for creating tutorial videos and also PDF guides on painting. Now, I interviewed Mark on my podcast a couple of years ago, and I basically said that Mark was one of the best figure painters out there. Mark was very humble and said, no. You're a video creator of how to paint. I mean, you are a very good painter, but then you started talking about the real great painters, and your skill, Mark, is the creation of these videos to help other people on how to paint.
Yeah, very much so. And that's the way I like it, because it means I can exercise a greater range of creative processes, because I love the composing, I love the photography, videography. Yeah. So it's very much a holistic kind of thing that I produce rather than just being good at painting.
This is the thing. If you are interested in painting miniatures, even if you're good at painting miniatures, go and check out some of Mark's videos. And as he mentioned there's lots of music in this video, and the music that he does for his videos, because he's done Star Wars ones, he's done Lord of the Rings ones, he's done Marvel ones, the music is very thematically tied to the theme of what it is that you're painting, and you compose that music yourself.
Yes, I do. And it's actually, that's one of the hardest parts of the production process, is writing the music. But it's one of those things that once you've started doing it for your first few episodes, there's no going back.
Right.
I could never sort of use pre-written music, because I get to control the whole kind of thematic narrative of each video. So
there we go. Quick introduction from Mark and what he does. And you are a fan of this card game, which is why I've invited you on, because you actually played this game yourself, or you used to play this game regularly before the lockdown.
That's right. Having said that, I've probably only played it around 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
Because we also play various other games. But I like it very much.
Yeah. Mark's in the same position as me, is that neither of us are experts at this game. We don't really go in for deck building. We've mostly played the game with pre-constructed decks. Now, Mark, you have built your own deck for this evening, which you said, I think you based on one that you found online, but you've tweaked it a little bit.
That's right, because I've not actually played as She-Hulk before.
Okay.
And I've not played the game for a month or two, so I thought I'd look up some ideas online.
Yep.
And this deck looks interesting. I like She-Hulk because, I mean, she can punch with giant green fists just as well as Hulk can.
Yeah.
But she's smart as well. I mean, she's an attorney.
Yep.
So I figured she'd be good at building and leading a team. So although I'm going to be flipping her quite a bit between hero and alter ego, I think broadly, early game, she's going to be more playing attorney for the card draw, so she can build up her infrastructure and a nice team of allies. And then towards the second half of the game, she can use those allies to get massive card draw and start punching stuff.
Yeah. So for those people who don't know the game, you basically choose a character, and that character is two-sided. You have your alter ego side and you have your hero side, and the stats are different on each side. And what Mark was referring to is that each character has a hand size, and you draw back up to your hand size at the end of your turn, or sorry, at the end of the sort of player phase, and She-Hulk's hand size is 4. Jennifer Walters' hand size is 6. So, you know, it's a game where you're not drawing one card a turn. You are drawing up to your hand size. So if you can empty your hand of cards, you're doing a lot of stuff, and then you're drawing back up. So yeah, that's the advantage of staying on that side. Well, I've gone with Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and I've had Jeremy build a deck for me. So I did even less than you, Mark. I didn't even go online, look at a deck and tweak it. I just asked Jeremy, and Jeremy's made another deck for me. So thank you very much, Jeremy, for the deck. Now, we are going to be playing through the Green Goblin scenario pack, which comes with 2 scenarios. We're going to be playing through scenario number 1 tonight, which is Risky Business. And we are playing, I've posted on the Marvel Champions Facebook group earlier on today, and they've suggested we play with the Power Drain Encounter set. So the nasty cards, the bad cards, is made up of ones specific to your scenario, which is Risky Business, a standard set of encounter cards, which is 7 cards, and also 1 encounter set. And I think now there's about 10 to choose from. They've got different difficulty ratings, so you can customize the difficulty of the game, or you can just pick randomly. Neither me nor Mark have played Power Drain, so we know that the secondary minion bad guy is Electro. Is it Electro? I think so. But we don't know what he does, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise when it comes out. Now, we did have a discussion about playing on expert mode, and both me and Mark have chickened out. So apologies to those people who advised me to play in expert mode. Neither me or Mark are actually that good at the game. So we're playing on standard mode, and we'll see how we get on. Right, so very, very high level overview is we have a villain, which is Norman Osborn. And if we're playing on basic mode, we start with Norman Osborn 1. And Norman Osborn 1 has 14 hit points per player in the game. So 28 hit points. And our objective is to defeat Norman Osborn. And the way we do that is we basically deal damage to him here. Once the 28 has gone, he changes and we go to stage 2. And he's going to get 36 hit points. And then once we defeat stage 2, that's how we win the game. There are ways that we can lose the game as well. So our own characters have hit points. And if a character loses all of their hit points, they get knocked out. But the game isn't over if one player gets knocked out. It requires both players to be knocked out. I believe that's the case, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you carry on going if one player is knocked out. But if we both die, then we lose the game. The other way we can lose the game is the villain is doing a scheme. And the scheme here, this is the main scheme. This is hostile takeover. So a little bit of flavour. Norman Osborn holds a board meeting, plotting to take over a branch of Stark Industries. So this is the main scheme. It starts off with 4 threat on there, because we're a 2-player game. And if it ever gets to 14 threat, so that's 7 per player, then this scheme is going to flip. This is 1B, and if it ever gets 14 threat on there, it's going to change to the second one. And I think if the second one ever gets completed, that's when you lose the game. So something is going to happen when this advances, and our job is to basically try and prevent this from advancing. And if we fail to stop this one advancing, we've got to try and stop this one advancing. So this is going to get 1 threat on it each villain phase, so it's going to tick over anyway. And when completed, we're going to place 2 infamy counters on criminal enterprise. Yeah, I'll read that when it happens, but something's going to happen when we complete that. Right, what else do we need to do to start with? I think we need to draw our cards, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, hit points are set, so I've got 10. Jennifer, you've got 15. You don't mind me referring to you as Jennifer this evening, do you, Mark?
Not at all. All about the theme.
All about the theme. Yeah, my Spidey costume is unfortunately at the dry cleaners, so otherwise...
Same, I know.
Yeah. We were going to go full costume tonight. So what's going to happen is Mark's actually got, obviously, I've got his deck here, but Mark has his own copy of his deck. So what I'm going to do is, as I draw the cards, I'm going to let Mark know what he's drawn so that he can see in a bit more detail what he's got. So you've drawn Quinjet, the Power of Leadership. These are all leadership cards. So Quinjet, Power of Leadership, Lead from the Front, and Hawkeye as leadership cards.
Just space them out slightly. I can actually see them quite clearly on the,
okay.
on the table there. Thank
you.
you.
I've upped my Twitch settings, so it should be broadcasting out at 1080.
Nice.
You've also drawn your own card, Superhuman Law Division, and neutral card, Avengers Tower. I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them like that. So that indicates that that is your hand. Meanwhile, have I shuffled mine? Yes, mine have been shuffled. Right, so I've got my cards as well. So I start with 6 cards. Now, deck construction rules, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but basically you have 15 cards that are fixed for your particular character. You cannot change them. They are, you've got to use all of them. But then you choose one of the aspects, and Mark has chosen leadership, which is the blue coloured cards. So you can only use cards from that aspect and neutral cards. Can't use any of the other ones. I have chosen protection, which is the green ones. So again, I am protection. So it's really good because card games where you're allowed to build your decks with literally anything, they completely befuddle me. If you've got too much choice, I just get completely lost. At least in this game, you're like, okay, well, there's 15 cards I have to use. Now I get to choose one of the 4 aspects, okay, and now I can only take cards from that aspect. So it actually makes the deck building quite a bit easier, I find. Right, I think we're ready to start. Where is the first player token? It is here.
Are we doing any kind of mulligan your end?
Oh, yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't like mulliganing because the mulligan rules in this game are actually really clever, unlike other games where you essentially get a free redraw. Well, I've drawn my Avengers Mansion, and this is a card which I'm never sure about in a deck because it costs 4 to play. But if you get it at the start of the game, it's amazing. So I'm probably going to keep that, which means I need to pay for 4, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm happy with mine. How about yours?
Okay, I've forgotten the mulligan rules actually. Can we mulligan a certain number of cards?
Yes,
or does it have to be the whole hand?
No, you can mulligan any number of cards you want from your hand, but they go to your discard pile.
Right.
They don't get shuffled back in, and that's what I like about it. It isn't a free mulligan, it is a clever decision because something bad happens when your deck runs out in this game.
Okay. Okay, I'll stick with what I've got then.
Okay, right, so first player, my left hand or my right hand? If you get the one with the token, so my left, you were wrong, so I am going to be the first player. So here's what happens. These are the 2 reference cards that come with the game. The game starts in the player phase, and basically we're going to take turns. We're going to go through the player phase, then we do the villain phase. I'm not going to go through this every round, but I am just going to go through it for those people who are new to the game. So I'm going to take the first turn, and what I can do is I can play as many cards from my hand as I want to. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play Avengers Mansion. This is going to come into play. It is a support card, so it stays in my play area, but it costs 4 to play, which means I have to throw away cards from my hand with resource value 4 in order to play that card. Now, I do have this card, which is Genius, which gets me 2. So that's 2. Also, Peter Parker has an ability that once per round I can generate a mental resource. So there's 3. And I'm also going to play Counterpunch as another resource. So there's the 4. So Avengers Mansion is now in play. Now, the reason why I'm saying this card is good at the start of the game is, as an action, I can exhaust Avengers Mansion, choose a player, that player draws 1 card. And one of the things that I didn't learn about this game, Mark, until I was in my, I think, 4th game, is something called requesting actions.
Ah.
And as soon as I found out about requesting actions, I already liked the game. And then I found out about requesting action. I was like, well, this makes it even better. So you could actually, I don't have to use that on my turn. I could leave that there. And on Mark's turn, Mark could request that he does that action on that card.
Were you, on the topic of that, were you planning on using Avengers Mansion for yourself this time?
I wasn't going to. I was going to let you use it if you wanted it.
That'd be awesome, thank you.
Right, so there you go. So we're going to see the requested actions thing. Perfect. Exactly as it is. Right, I'm now going to play Endurance on myself because you've already got 15 health. So this basically increases my hit points by 3.
Perfect.
So I'm now up to 13, and that cost 1. And I'm going to play. Oh, now then. Backflip is an awesome card, but so is that. And this is one thing I like about the game. The fact that cards are resources, you have very tricky decisions to make. I'm going to get rid of backflip for now, and I'm going to keep that card in my hand. Right, that is sort of my go done. One thing that you can do each round, you can change form. So I think I might... Yeah, I'm going to change form into Spider-Man, and now that I'm in Spider-Man form, I can basically attack or thwart. Attacking is where I get to remove hit points from here, and thwart is where we get to remove threat from here. So one of them is our goal to try and win, and the other one is stopping them winning. Now, my thwart is only 1 and my attack is 2, so I am naturally better at attacking than I am at thwarting. Oh, hang on a minute. Criminal Enterprise. I didn't read this. Criminal Enterprise enters play with 4 infamy counters on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. And if there are ever no infamy counters here, Norman Osborn is flipped. And also, this card is flipped as well. So basically, in this scenario, Norman is flipping between himself and Green Goblin, which is quite a cool, different type of thing that happens.
So I think thematically, he's basically... When he's Norman Osborn, he's protected by his criminal enterprise, isn't he? We can't actually damage him. When we do damage to him, we remove those tokens, and then eventually when he flips, we can then start punching him.
That's it. It says, when Norman Osborn would take any amount of damage, remove that many infamy counters from criminal enterprise instead. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I am going to use Spider-Man to attack. Now, you can only do that once per turn. So what you do is you exhaust the card to indicate you've done that. And I deal 2 damage to Norman Osborn, but because of this card, I actually remove 2 of those infamy counters instead. Right, and that is my go done. So that is the end of my turn. Mark, it is over to you.
Okay, so if you could just tap Avengers Mansion.
Yep, so you get to draw a card.
Draw a card.
And the card you've drawn is, it's one of your own, and it is Focused Rage. Scott is saying, remember to read Norman and the environment card so you know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yes, we got that. Thank you.
So I will spend Focused Rage to play the Quinjet.
So the one resource from this, the Quinjet is this. So Quinjet is a support card. After your turn begins, put a time counter on it. And then as an action, put an Avenger ally from your hand into play with a printed cost equal to or less than... Okay, so it's a slow build resources, and then a friend arrives. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it looks like I've frozen, by the way, it just means I'm actually sitting still wondering what to do next.
Right, okay. I'm just reading your cards as well.
Okay, I'm then going to play the Avengers Tower. This
is from the Captain America deck, isn't it? Or from the Captain America pack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to pay for that, I will discard Lead from the Front and Superhuman Lord of Vision.
Okay, so using the 2 resources on those cards to play Avengers Tower, which is if each of your allies has the Avenger trait, you can have 1 extra ally, because the ally limit is 3. All of the other cards, it's unlimited. You can have as many as you want, but allies, you're limited to 3. But because of this, as long as all of Mark's allies have got the Avenger trait, he can have an extra 1. And you can exhaust this to reduce the cost of the next Avenger ally by 1. Nice. Hello to everybody in the chat. I will, while Mark's thinking, I can say hello to the chat. So yeah, we've got quite a few people watching on Twitch. Thank you very much for watching. Quite a few people watching on YouTube, and Chris is heckling me because he said he would. There you go. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm now going to exhaust the Avengers Tower to reduce the cost of the next Avenger ally played this phase by 1.
Which is Hawkeye.
I'm then going to spend the Power of Leadership, which doubles the number of resources the card generates when paying for a leadership card, which means I can now get Hawkeye into play.
There you go. So Hawkeye is out. So Hawkeye is awesome because he comes into play with 4 arrows. And every time a minion comes into play, one of these arrow counters is removed. And that's not an optional ability. It doesn't say you may, so it happens automatically. He's basically trigger happy. Okay, so we've both taken our turns. After all players have finished their turns, because this game does take up to 4 players.
Hang on, so
Go on.
I might...
Oh, sorry, yeah, you've still got stuff to do. I'm jumping the gun.
There's no reason not to thwart with Hawkeye, so I'm going to thwart for 1 with Hawkeye.
Okay, so allies, similar to heroes, can either thwart or attack. The downside is, so he's thwarting, so 1 threat is going to come off, is they take consequential damage. It's basically, it limits the amount of times they can be used. So that's 1 point of consequential damage. Hawkeye has 3 health, so once he's done that 3 times, he disappears. Now, are you staying in alter ego form? Are you staying at the office?
Yes.
Okay, right. So that is the end of our turns. We now, if we want to, we can discard any number of cards from our hand. So I've kept Spider Tracer in hand. If I wanted to, I could discard it. The reason for doing that is if I want to draw some extra cards, but I'm going to keep that in my hand. We now both draw up to our hand size. So Mark, I'll do yours first.
Thank you.
Because you're drawing 6 cards. So 5, 6. So leadership cards, you've got another Quinjet, the Triskelion and Squirrel Girl. Of your own cards, you've got Ground Stomp and Legal Practice. And a neutral card, you have Emergency. Okay, and I keep that in hand and I draw, my hand size is 5. So I only draw 4 cards. Oh, these are big expensive cards. Right, there we go. And then what happens is all of the cards that were exhausted, they ready, so that we are ready and set for the villain phase, which is what's going to happen now. So we now go, okay, so Dervalch is in the chat and he's saying the response is optional. Okay, so although Hawkeye's ability doesn't say you may, apparently the ruling is that all responses are optional, so you can shoot somebody if you want to. Right, the villain phase. The first thing that happens in the villain phase is a threat goes on the main scheme, and it's 1 threat per player, because that's what the card says. So we get 2 threat goes on the main scheme. And then the villain and each engaged minion, now we haven't had any minions come out yet, so it's just the villain, is basically going to activate against each of us in player order. So against me first, I am in hero form. So what happens when I'm in hero form is the villain will actually attack me and try and deal damage. However, Norman Osborn's special ability says when Norman Osborn would attack, instead you place 1 infamy counter on criminal enterprise. So that's it. As you say, he's sat at home in the office, so that's all that happens. Against Mark, however, Mark is not in hero form, Mark is in alter ego form, which means the villain is going to scheme. And when it schemes, it adds its scheme value in threat to this, but you get a boost card. So we're drawing the top card from the deck, and we're looking in the bottom right, and we have no icons in the bottom right, which is good. So there's no boost whatsoever. So it is just 2 threat on the main scheme. So the main scheme now is up to 7 threat, and there are 3 counters on criminal enterprise. The next thing that happens is each of us gets dealt an encounter card, and then in player order, we reveal and resolve those encounter cards. So, me first. I have drawn Advance. So when revealed, the villain schemes. So exactly the same as what you saw before, the villain is scheming. Don't forget, Mark, you've got your interrupt ability if you want it.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, I always forget that. Yeah, so 1 less threat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you're going to. So it's interrupt when threat would be placed on a scheme. Prevent 1 of that threat.
Objection.
Yeah, objection. So he's going to be placing 2 on, and there is a boost icon, so it's going to be 3. But because you objected, it's only 2. And don't forget, you've also got emergency in your hand.
Yeah.
But it's a resource. Now, there's also a special star icon on this. So when this card is drawn as part of a boost effect, we place 1 infamy counter on criminal enterprise. And if you cannot, remove 1 madness counter from state. Right, okay, so we're adding a counter there. And that's that. And that's that. And that's that done. Right, Mark, the card that you drew was Assault. So if you are in alter ego form, which you are, This card gains Surge, which basically means we discard it and we draw a new one. And your new card is Gang Up, which, when you're in Alter Ego form, this card gains Surge. Did I shuffle these? Yeah, I think I shuffled them. We're getting all the standard ones out early. Oh, we have drawn Electromagnetic Pulse. Now, this is a card from the Power Drain Encounter set. When revealed, discard 7 cards from the encounter deck. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If Electro was discarded this way... No, he was not. If he was, we would have put him into play engaged with you. If he was not discarded this way, this card gains Surge. Oh, wow. So we've lost all of those cards, and this card gains Surge. And it is Hired Gun. So, this is a risky business card, Mark, and this is the Hired Gun minion. So this is coming into play, engaged with you, and it says, when revealed, choose to either give the villain 1 face-down boost card, or place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise.
I say, so if you put a boost card face down on him, that just adds an extra boost to his next.
I guess so.
team.
I've never had that before.
Well, let's just go with putting 2 more Criminal Enterprise tokens on instead. Infamy counters, yeah.
Okay. Right, now you have this engaged with you. So this is a Hired Gun. It's got a scheme of 2, 2 attack, and 3 health.
Okay, got it.
Right, okay. And I think...
Oh, so when the Hired Gun engages with me, Hawkeye shoots him.
Oh, yeah, if you want to. Do you want to?
Please.
You do. Right, so Hawkeye shoots him, removes an arrow, and does 1 damage. Yeah, because when you flip, you deal 2 damage, don't you? Yes. Nice. Okay, so that's the end of the villain phase, and that is the end of round 1. The first player token flips over, and we now go to, effectively, round 2. Mark first, and you have an ability that happens at the start of your turn. So I'm going to put a time counter.
The Quinjet gains a time counter.
Yeah, done. So these counters, if you don't know the game, these green counters, these are generic counters that you can basically use them for anything. So on the Quinjet, they're time counters. On Hawkeye, they are arrow counters. And on here, they are infamy counters. So that's why we're using the same tokens for each. Right. Now, Avengers Mansion is there. I'm just working out if I could use it. You're probably going to kill that Hired Gun before I get a turn.
Yeah, can do, yeah. This is what I love about the game. There's so many interesting decisions to make every turn.
Yeah, every turn. But yeah, if I was going first, I could have put a Spider Tracer on him. But yeah, you're going to go first, and you're going to get rid of him before I can do that.
Okay. So first of all, I will tap the Avengers Tower to reduce the cost of the next Avenger ally played by 1.
Yep.
Which then will allow me to discard Emergency to put Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl.
And as she does so, she deals 1 damage
to each enemy.
Go on. And 1 to
Norman,
so
which
we
is
take 1
infamy counter off. So there are now 5 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. I'm just thinking back. I think I might have forgot to do something. Because I was attacked, wasn't I, by Norman Osborn?
You could draw a card, didn't you?
No, Now, the thing is, it says, when Norman Osborn would attack, place 1 infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise instead. I think that's a replacement effect. I don't think the attack actually happens. Let us know in the chat if I missed that and I should have drawn a card. I don't think I do. Anyway, back to you.
Okay.
Hired Gun is almost dead.
Okay, I'm concerned about the threat, but I'm going to let it go just for maybe 1 more round.
Okay, there is 9 on there.
Yeah. So again, I'm just going to carry on building my infrastructure a little. So I'm going to discard Legal Practice.
Yeah, for 1 resource.
And I'm going to put another Quinjet into play.
Another Quinjet, right? Okay, I'm going to stack them up like that. 2 Quinjets.
And discard Ground Stomp to get the Triskelion into play.
Which increases your ally limit by another 1. So as long as all of your allies are Avengers, you can now have 5 of them in play. Right, I'm going to put the Triskelion there. Okay.
All right.
Right.
I will then... Okay, at this point, I think I will flip to She-Hulk.
Okay. So when you flip, we have an ability called Do You Even Lift. After you change to this form, deal 2 damage to an enemy.
And I'll do that to Norman Osborn, so we can take 2 tokens off the Criminal Enterprise. 2 tokens off.
So the Criminal Enterprise is down to 3.
And I will then activate Squirrel Girl to attack the hired gun, finishing him off.
So 1 damage on the hired gun gets rid of that. 1 consequential damage on Squirrel Girl. And then, is Hawkeye doing anything, or is he going to have a sandwich?
I'm gonna...
Hang on. I'm just reading the chat. Hawkeye does 2 damage with the arrow.
Oh, wow. Thank you. So
there you go. Thank you for that. Yeah, cheers, Rick.
Use Squirrel Girl then. For that.
I've undone that. So Squirrel Girl is alive and well.
But I think... what's our thwart threshold? 14. 14,
and we've got 9 on there at the moment. So 5 more, and it's going to flip. And it's going to get 2 as the start of the villain phase. So it is close.
Yeah, I'm going to thwart with both of those.
Okay.
So just take 2.
So 2 off. It's down to 7. And consequential damage goes on both Hawkeye and Squirrel Girl.
And She-Hulk may as well swing for 3.
Yeah, so 3 damage on Norman Osborn, that is all of the infamy counters gone. So, when there are no infamy counters here, flip Norman Osborn and Criminal Enterprise. So what's going to happen is Norman Osborn flips over, except I've gone and put them in purple sleeves, which is no good for this scenario. So Norman Osborn has basically changed into Green Goblin. When revealed, deal 3 indirect damage to each player in hero form. Now that's both of us. We're both in hero form. And indirect damage means that you can divide it however you want amongst characters that you can control.
Okay, I'll take all 3 for She-Hulk.
Yeah, I'm taking all 3 for me as well. Okay. Right, and we now have a forced interrupt of when Green Goblin would scheme, remove a madness counter from State of Madness instead, because the Criminal Enterprise has flipped over and we now have a new environment card called State of Madness. So it enters play with 4 madness counters. And basically, whenever... how do these madness counters get removed? That's when he schemes. So so Norman Osborn, instead of attacking, adds counters to the Criminal Enterprise. Green Goblin, instead of scheming, adds counters to the State of Madness. There you go. Right, so that is there. That is there. Is that your go done?
Yes, thank you.
I think it is. Right, so let's put your health there so people can see it. My go. Well, I'm going to use Avengers Mansion. So I'm going to get to draw a card. Aha! We have Nick Fury, aka Gandalf, if you've played the Lord of the Rings LCG, because he basically does the same thing. Nick arrives, does something cool, and then disappears off. But he's very, very expensive. But this could be a good way of reducing the threat. Because right now... Oh, I do have this. We can actually hit him. Yes, we can hit him now, can't we? Because he's in Green Goblin form.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that I've got my swinging web kick.
Nice.
Yeah, which is a massively powerful attack that I can only use when I'm in hero form. So I think I'm going to do it. We're going to do a swinging web kick, and we're going to pay for it with the Spider Tracer, which I don't need. We're also going to pay for it with... Oh, it's going to have to be Nick. Yeah, Nick. So that's 1, 2, and we're going to also pay for it with Tackle. So there's the 3. So this is a card that can only be used when I'm in hero form, and I basically deal 8 damage to an enemy. So there you go, Mr. Goblin, down to 20 health.
Nice.
Whack. That's one of the biggest damage output cards in the game, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, yeah.
Captain Marvel can do a big energy blast thing, which I think is 10. But yeah, 8 is pretty good. Right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I might as well use Spider-Man to attack as well. So that is another 2 damage. Just checking my health situation. Yeah, we're okay. Because your heroes can go basically back home and heal up. But I'm not going to do that. I mean, I could now switch forms. Or do I stay in... Oh, this is an interesting decision. If I stay in hero form, it's going to attack me.
I'd suggest maybe flipping, because it's okay if he schemes and puts... Because he's not actually going to put threat on the hostile takeover, is he? He's going to be putting tokens on State of Madness, which just gives us a bit of breathing room to build up.
How do we get rid of the State of Madness tokens? That's a good question. How do we get rid of them? When it would scheme. Oh no, when it would scheme. It's the other way round. It removes them. Right, okay.
I see, okay.
That's it. That's how they get removed.
I see.
Okay, so I'm going to take Mark's advice. I am going to change forms. I am back into form as Peter Parker, which means I can actually now use the ability of generating one of those resources, which is no use because I can't play this because this is an interrupt card. Well, actually, no, I could, just not at the moment. Right, okay, I'm done. So we've both had a go. We can now discard any number of cards we want from our hand. I'm actually going to discard this one, but I'm going to keep this one. And then we draw up to our hand size. So, Mark, you're at 4 cards and you've drawn Split Personality, which is your own, and Hellcat.
Nice.
You've also drawn Genius and Strength in Numbers.
Thank you.
There you go. Right. Let's see what I'm drawing. So my hand size is 6 and I've already got 1 card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got another Avengers Mansion. It's not a unique card. So you can actually have 2 of them. Interesting. Didn't realise that. So yeah, again, if you don't know the game, you'll notice some of the cards have this little star symbol to the left of their name. That means there can only be 1 of those in play. Doesn't mean we can have 1 each. I think there can only be 1 in play in total. Right. We're all done. We're all set for the villain phase. So we get 2 threat on the main scheme. So that is now up to 9 again. And then the villain and all minions, of which there are none, activates. So Green Goblin, because you are in hero form, is going to attack you. Now at this point you can decide whether anybody is going to jump in the way of that in order to try and soak up some of the damage.
No, I'm just going to take it on the chin.
You're just going to take it on the chin because you're fine for health at the moment, aren't you? So it's an attack of 3 plus the boost card of 3.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So down to 6.
Down to 6. That is a big hit. Yeah, 3 boost cards are rare. And that is one of them. Okay. And then against me, he's scheming. But instead of scheming, we remove a madness counter from the State of Madness. There you go. Gone. Then we both get an encounter card. Oh, Avengers Mansion is max 1 per player. It does say that. Thank you very much. So it's not a unique card, but it's a maximum of 1 per player. And some of the cards allow you to put them into play under any player's control. This one doesn't. So yeah, my other card in hand is now just a resource. Okay, Mark, your encounter card that you've drawn is... Uh-oh. It's Eviction Notice.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So again, for those people who don't know how to play the game, each character actually has an obligation card. So this is a card which, if Peter Parker is in the game, this obligation card must get shuffled into the deck. And sometimes it will come out, and it has come out, and it gets passed to me. So thematically, I've been basically evicted from my home. I may choose to flip to alter ego form. I am already in alter ego form, and now I have a choice. I can either exhaust Peter Parker, which basically means I won't get to do anything on my next turn, and that removes this card from the game. It's completely gone. I've paid the rent. We're all sorted. Or I lose a card at random from my hand, and this is discarded, and basically I've just delayed it for a bit. I think I'm going to take the penalty at this stage in the game. I am going to exhaust Peter Parker, and I'm going to get rid of that from the game. There you go. That is dealt with. Right, and my card is All in a Day's Work. Now, this is a treachery card. I could cancel this. Not that one. Where is it? I have my enhanced spider sense. So when a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, yeah, no, that's not a treachery card. Cancel its when revealed effect. So if I don't cancel this, it is All in a Day's Work. When revealed, place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. If you cannot, remove 2 madness counters from State of Madness. Do we want to cancel it? Oh, it's a tricky one. Do we want him to stay in Green Goblin form, or do we want him to switch back?
The advantage of him being Green Goblin is that he pauses the scheming.
Yes.
He?
Yeah.
But he does punch us.
Yeah. Hard.
I don't know, mate. It's your call.
I think I'm going to cancel it because I have my Peter Parker ability, which is generate a resource limit once per round. It doesn't say that I can only do it on my turn, and it is still the same round. So right. I think, unless the chat tells me otherwise. Oh, yeah, the chat has told me otherwise, which makes perfect sense. It is a hero interrupt. I can only do it when I'm in hero form.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which makes absolute sense.
Decision made.
Moot point, decision made. We're going to remove 2 counters, 2 madness counters from State of Madness. That has gone. Right. I think we are done. I think we are end of round. So, round 3 starts. I go first, and unfortunately, Peter Parker is already exhausted. Now, the good news is that my ability on there, I can still use, even though I'm exhausted. So, what are we going to do? And I can actually web the Green Goblin.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
As long as it's not a hero. Oh, you have to flip first, wouldn't you?
Hero form only. Yeah, but then I can't use the energy. I can't use the resource for that. Is there anything I can do in this form?
With Avengers Mansion?
Yeah, let's do it. Unless you need it.
Oh, no, go for it, mate. Thank you.
You're good. Right, so Avengers Mansion to draw a card, and we've drawn backflip. Okay, so yeah, I don't think I can do anything with this resource. That's a shame. No, all of these can only be used in hero form. So we're going to flip, we're going to change form. And even though you're exhausted, you can still do lots and lots of other things. So we are now going to do webbed up, which is going to cost 4. And it's going to be Avengers Mansion for 1, energy for 2, and 1 more, which is going to be... we're not fighting many minions, are we? So I'm actually going to get rid of Spider Tracer. So there's the 4. So webbed up attaches to an enemy, maximum of 1 per enemy. And when the attached enemy would attack, instead of attacking, we discard this card, and then we stun that enemy. And the word on stunning is exactly the same as this. So basically, it's like a double stun. Yeah, so that's on there. It's an awesome card.
Yeah.
It is an awesome card. Right, well, I've still got 3 cards left. And I think I'm just going to keep these. Yeah, we're good. Right. I'm going to keep my discard pile slightly off screen. Right, Mark, you're up.
Okay, so 1 time token goes on each Quinjet.
Mm-hmm.
I will tap the Avengers Tower to reduce the cost of Hellcat
Yep.
and pay for her with the 2 time tokens on the first Quinjet, which I play. So that Quinjet now gets discarded.
So as an action, yeah, that reduces the cost of the next Avenger played, and this is putting an Avenger into play. So yeah, cool. So Hellcat comes into play. Oh, this is nice. Action, return to hand. So you can basically keep using it multiple times. Okay.
I think I'll then play Strength in Numbers, which is a free event, which lets me exhaust my allies and draw a card for each ally exhausted.
How many do you want to exhaust?
All 3, please.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3 to draw 3 cards. Right, the 3 cards that you're drawing are Energy, a 1-2 punch, and Ground Stomp. So 1-2 punch and Ground Stomp are your own cards.
Thank you.
So Der Valchi is saying can't do that, printed cost. And Scott is also saying can't do that. Right, so what have we done wrong? Okay, yeah, I don't think that combo works, unfortunately.
What, the Quinjet?
The Quinjet and Avengers Tower.
Ah.
Because it's not playing it, it's putting it into play with printed cost equal to or less than the, yeah, you're not playing it and paying the cost. So unfortunately that doesn't quite work.
Okay.
So quick undo. I'll just pop those 3 cards back on top of your deck and we'll just return Hellcat to your hand very quickly and we'll put the 2 time counters there. Thank you very much, chat, for keeping us honest. There you go. Undone.
Hang on, now I've got all these cards in my hand which shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I've just put the 3 cards, Ground Stomp, 1-2 punch and Energy back on top of your deck. So yeah, so you can't use Quinjet at the moment. It doesn't reduce the cost, it puts it into play effectively if it's only for free. Oh, and Quinjet would be discarded after use. Yeah, thank you very much, Mark. But can't use it just yet.
So that's because the Avengers Tower, although the Avengers Tower reduces the cost, it doesn't reduce the printed cost.
Correct, yes.
Right? Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, the wording is very specific in games like this, isn't it?
Okay, so I'll still tap the Avengers Tower.
Yep.
And I will therefore reduce the cost of Hellcat.
Yep. To 2.
And then pay for that with Genius.
Pay for it with Genius, and then you can still do the Strength in Numbers.
Still do Strength in Numbers.
Yeah, so there we go.
Giving me the 1-2 punch, Ground Stomp,
Ground
and
Stomp
energy.
and Energy. Yep. So that's these exhausted.
Okay.
Just going to take this off because it's a bit warm in here. Ooh. Russ is here for chits and giggles. Thank you very much, Russ. He says it's part of the frustration with the game. It seems very fiddly. Yeah, I mean, a lot of games like this with very specific keywords, you're absolutely right. Unless you know the rules absolutely back to front, you're going to make little mistakes like this.
So I'll then do a... hang on.
Frodo of the Shire is in the Twitch chat saying he's in a meeting at work. Excellent. You sit there in the meeting with this on in the background. And Chuckles 2000 is working on spreadsheets. Nice.
Okay, then I'll do a basic attack with She-Hulk.
Yep.
So 3 damage on...
3 damage. So Green Goblin is down to 15.
15?
15.
Okay.
Because he was on 28. I hit him for 8 with the swinging web kick, and then I attacked him for 2 with my base attack.
Awesome.
So down to 15. Is there a 1-2 punch coming in?
It's tempting, but I think I'm going to go with split personality. So I'll use energy and ground stomp to pay.
Ground stomp's not particularly good in this scenario, it seems.
No,
but
I'll use it to pay for split personality.
So change your form, and then draw up to your printed hand size. Nice. So let's have another 5 cards.
Yeah.
So we have Focused Rage, one of your own. 1-2 Punch, one of your own. And then 3 leadership cards. Falcon, Maria Hill, and Vision. So the Quinjet could be used to get Maria Hill into play if you wanted.
I could. The only problem is she's a shield.
Oh, she's
ally.
Yeah.
So she's good to have out early, but at the moment, that would then.
Oh, it doesn't work for the Quinjet.
I mean,
she's got to be an Avenger.
Actually, the Triskelion allows me to have an extra ally, irregardless. Let's see. So I could get her out for now, couldn't I?
You could.
Is anyone telling me that's not possible? The Triskelion, increase your ally limit by 1.
Yeah, you can't use the Quinjet though to bring her into play.
Of course.
Because the Quinjet will only bring Avengers into play.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit odd that Maria can't come in a Quinjet, but you know, them's the rules.
Am I the first player? And I'm the second player, aren't I?
You are the second player, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've already done my stuff.
Okay. I'm going to get either Falcon or Vision into play. Let's see.
They're both pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, a question came up in the stream last week that I did with Rado, and it was actually a question from me, because we were looking at Heimdall, which costs 5 to play, and I went, wow, that's really expensive. Is there anything that costs more than 5 to play? And there is. I then found a card on the floor of the dining room, Hercules, which costs 6. Yeah. He was like, what was he doing there on the floor? I think the cat's got him.
Okay, we'll try and get Falcon into place just to pull the threat down a little bit if possible.
Right. Yep.
So
it's going to cost you 4.
Get rid of everything else apart from Vision.
Right, okay. So you're using these 4 cards to pay for Falcon. It's hard choices, isn't it, in this game? It really is. So Falcon comes into play, and thematically, basically, Falcon comes in, goes flying across the enemy territory, and we're going to look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. And for every treachery looked at this way, we remove 1 threat from a scheme, and we have drawn, unfortunately, only 1 treachery card.
Okay.
But we have seen the top 3 cards, and we put them back in exactly the same order. So we have a private security specialist on the top. So the first and the third card was a private security specialist, and the second card was all in a day's work. So we've got a couple of minions coming out very soon. So you have Vision in hand, and you have Falcon in play that can do something.
Okay, cool. I will thwart for 2 with Falcon, please.
Yeah. So that's 2 more threat down. We're managing to keep it around 8 or 9, which is quite good.
So what's the current threat value now?
Current threat is 6.
Cool, thank you.
Russ is asking a very good question in the YouTube chat, which is, what is the average time it takes to play a game of this? I don't know about you, Mark, but when I'm playing it, I don't want to rush it.
No.
So you could play, if you were to rush it and you played quick and you knew exactly what you were doing, I reckon you could play a 2-player game of this in about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But for me, hour and a half is absolutely fine because I like to look at it, soak in the atmosphere, and actually, not rush the decisions, but actually properly think about them.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh,
then
consequential damage on Falcon.
That's me then.
Right. So that is the end of the player phase. So now both of us, if we want to, can discard any number of cards from our hand. Oh, I've got 3 cards. I'll have a think about this while I'm doing yours. Do you want to discard vision? I'm guessing not.
No, thank you.
Right, didn't think you would. So the cards you're drawing are another 5. Right, you've drawn 3 of your own cards, which is Legal Practice, 1-2 Punch, and Superhuman Strength. And you've drawn 2 neutral cards, which is First Aid and Avengers Mansion.
Cool.
Right, and meanwhile, back in Spider-Man territory, well, because Green Goblin is webbed, he's not going to be attacking me for 2 turns. So I think I can afford to lose backflip, which is a crazy idea, and I'm going to keep that. And I'm actually going to... I'm going to keep Counterpunch. So I'm drawing 3 cards. I've got my Web Shooter, I've got another Swinging Web Kick, and Med Team. Nice. Medic. Okay, so we've drawn up. It is now the villain phase. 2 more threat on the main scheme. It is now up to 8. And now the villain attacks me, but doesn't, because Webbed Up is removed instead. So the attack doesn't happen. Webbed Up goes to my discard pile and is replaced with a stun effect. And then against you, Mark, you are in alter ego form. So Green Goblin is scheming, but instead of scheming, we remove a madness counter from the state of madness. Which means the state of madness has ended. We flip it back over. Criminal Enterprise is back with 4 counters on it. And Green Goblin flips back into Norman Osborn, who presumably is still stunned.
I guess.
Yeah, and I don't know which effect would take place. I guess the forced interrupt would happen, but then instead of doing that, the stun happens instead. I think that's right. Right, that's the villain phase done. There were no minions in play, so we now get a card each. My card is Private Security Specialist, which we knew. So I now have this minion attacking me. It's got no scheme, it's only got 1 attack, but it does have 4 health. But the pain is that it has the guard ability, which means while this minion is engaged with me, I can't attack the main villain because this person is guarding him. And Mark?
So you can deal 2 damage to him from Hawkeye.
Oh, thank you very much. Twang. There you go. And then All in a Day's Work is your card, which I can cancel. Which is it would put 2 infamy counters on the Criminal Enterprise, and I think I'm going to. I think I am going to cancel it.
Cool.
And I'm going to cancel it with... Ooh. I'm going to cancel it with Counterpunch. So there's the 1 for Enhanced Spider Sense, which basically cancels the when revealed effect of that card. It never happened. Okay, there you go. We're done. Past the first player token, and round 4 begins. I'll put some time counters on your Quinjets. You have 3 on the first one and 2 on the second one.
Cool.
Still not quite enough for vision.
First thing I'll do, I think, is flip to She-Hulk.
Okay, so that deals... Oh, did you use your interrupt ability?
Oh, damn it, I always forget that. No, I didn't. Well,
there we go.
Well,
we'll say you did. We'll say you did. Right, so you're changing form to She-Hulk. So you can deal 2 damage to an enemy.
Let's finish off that agent. Well, we have
Thank
to.
you. Yeah. This is the other thing that I like about the game, is that there's a lot of other card games, and the Arkham Horror card game comes to mind, where this is my fight that's going on here, and in order for you to attack it, you have to then pull it over here. In this game, anybody can attack anybody wherever you want, and it kind of feels like a scene from a film, with the characters all sort of rushing around, and you come over and you help me out, and then you do that, and it's, yeah, that's what I think anyway. So, that's the first thing you've done. Next. Scott is saying the stun is removed instead of the attack effect. Yeah, thought so. Oh wow, vision is really good. How are you for health? You're down to 6.
I'm down to 6. Which is in a way, it's quite a nice number to be at, so that if or when I can eventually play.
Well, you've got a super fancy card, haven't you? That,
yeah. Which one?
What does it do?
Oh, it's the Gamma Slam, which I've not drawn yet.
Right, but it deals damage equal to how much damage you have taken?
That's right.
Yeah,
so that
wow.
would be 9 damage. Yeah. Okay, this is actually really boring, but I'm just going to get the Avengers Mansion into play.
Yep.
And pay for it with everything else except Vision.
Except Vision. Yeah, there you go. 4 cards, Avengers Mansion. Boom.
I'm going to tap that so you can draw a card.
Thank you very much. Oh, it's another swinging web kick. Yeah, that's good, because now I can play either the med team or the swinging web kick, whichever one we want to go for.
Cool. Okay, it'd be rude not to attack with She-Hulk, so a basic attack.
Basic attack of 3.
3.
Yep. So it's down to... No, he's not, because we're in Norman Osborn form. So instead of taking damage, we remove that many infamy counters. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to do the swinging web kick, do I? Unless you can get another one off, change it into Green Goblin form, and then I can come in and do the swinging web kick.
I could do, yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I can do that, no problem. So I'll attack with Hellcat to do that 1 bit of damage then.
Yeah, so 1 bit of damage on Norman Osborn, which removes that. So consequential damage on Hellcat.
I'm going to
Criminal
thwart for 2 with
over.
Falcon.
Hang on, I'm just doing the admin. So everything flips over. So Falcon is thwarting for 2. So that's 2 threat off the main scheme. So the main scheme is down to 5 threat. Falcon has now taken 2 consequential damage.
Sorry, so we now the Goblin's revealed. We deal 3 indirect damage to each
player,
don't we?
Yes, 3 indirect damage to each player in hero form, which is me. So that's 3 damage on me.
And I'll do the same for She-Hulk.
You're going to take it?
Yeah.
You're down to 3.
Yeah. And I'm going to flip.
You haven't flipped yet this round, have you?
No. Oh, did I? No, I didn't.
Did you? I think you did.
I think I did. I must have done. No, so I'm stuck in She-Hulk.
I think you did, because you flipped and you dealt 2 damage to the guard. Yeah.
In which case, I don't really want to put myself down to 3 damage, do I?
Well, you've got characters that can jump in and defend.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, Falcon has only got 1 health left, so he's the perfect candidate for...
Most of them have only got 1 health left.
Yeah, true.
So the damage doesn't spill over, does it?
No, not unless it's got overkill.
Cool. All right. So, well, let Hellcat take the hit there then.
No, sorry.
Sorry. In the next. Yeah. So Hellcat. Oh no, that's only.
Yeah. In this case, it
2.
Yeah.
And I have to allocate 1 more. Yeah.
You do. Yeah.
All right. So She-Hulk will take 1 hit.
Yeah.
And Hellcat takes the other 2.
Okay.
Go into my discard pile.
Hellcat disappears. Okay. You've still got Squirrel Girl, and Hawkeye that are both ready, but they do only have 1 health left each.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave them.
Okay. Right, my go. So I'm going to use my own Avengers Mansion to draw a card. I've got the Helicarrier now. We did say I was going to do the swinging web kick, so I think that is what I will do. Yeah, so we're going to get rid of Helicarrier, Med Team, and... Do we get rid of that or do we keep it? I think we're going to get rid of it. Get rid of the other swinging web kick. So boom, 8 damage.
Nice.
Yeah, he's down to 7. Oh, there you go. Okay. And then... Now... I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change form. No, I've still got Spider-Man left. I can do something. Oh, do I go back home and heal? Down to 7. I can't... Yeah, I can't get that down much more. Yeah, I think I'm going to go home and heal. So I'm going to flip over to Peter Parker. I'm going to exhaust myself to recover 3 health. So I'm back to 10. A little bit safer. And then going to use my resource that I get for being in Peter Parker form to play the web shooter. So the web shooter I can play when I'm in alter ego form, but I can only use it when I'm in hero form.
Okay.
And that has 3 counters on it. I'm going to use threat markers because we've run out of green counters. So they are web counters that I can remove to generate wild resources. I'm going to keep that card in hand, and that is the end of my go. Whew.
Cool.
Right, so cards ready, and presumably you're keeping vision in hand?
Yep.
Right, okay, so the cards that you are drawing are leadership card of the Power of Leadership, basic card of Helicarrier, and then your own card, the Gamma Slam.
Nice.
And I'm drawing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the other thing with this game is that damage doesn't spill over from one hero stage, from one villain stage to the next. So in other words, he's currently at 7. There's no point doing any more than 7 to it because that will not spill over to the next stage.
Right.
So we kind of want to flip it to stage 2 and then you come in with the Gamma Slam for all of the damage.
Yeah.
But to be honest, we're only wasting 2. It's not too bad. Okay, so we've got our cards. Yeah, that is the end of the player phase. So villain phase. 2 resources on hostile takeover. So the main scheme is now up to 7. I think we're doing quite a good job of keeping this down. And now the villain activates. So against you, it is attacking.
So I will defend with She-Hulk then.
You don't need to.
Oh, of course, because he's stunned.
Green Goblin is he's still getting out of the webs that I put him like 3 days ago.
Perfect.
So even though he's changed form to Norman Osborn, gone to the office, done a few days of work, come back. Right, so that's that. And against me, it's scheming. Except it's not scheming. We're just removing a madness counter. There you go. Nice. And now we both get an encounter card. So Mark, your encounter card is the Private Security Specialist. So it comes into play engaged with you. Is Hawkeye going to shoot it?
Yep.
Okay, so another arrow gone. 2 damage on the Private Security Specialist. And then on me, we have Electro. Okay, so this is the bad guy from the Power Drain encounter set that we've put in the game. So this is a minion which is now engaged with me. After he attacks me, we discard a card from the encounter deck and take a direct damage for each boost icon. Okay, so he basically zaps him with the lightning bolt. Okay, so it's a scheme 2, attack 2 with a boost, and it has 6 health. I think I know where my swinging web kick's going next.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. That could have been worse. We are done. First player token passes to me, and we go to next round. So, I've got Aunt May. People are saying Aunt May's way too powerful as a card. I've also got Black Cat. But I need to do the swinging web kick. This is what we need to do. So at some point this round, I need to switch forms and then do the swinging web kick on Electro. But do I want to do something before I do that? That's going to be one. That's going to be one. That's going to be one. Yeah, I think we do. I think I'm going to play... we're going to use the resource of Luke Cage to play Aunt May. Then, because I'm in... Sorry, no, I'm going to use my free resource to play Aunt May. Then, because I'm in Alter Ego form, I can exhaust Aunt May to heal 4 damage from Peter Parker. So I go back up to my maximum of 13. I'm not sure I need the Avengers Mansions yet. I'm going to wait a minute just to see. Scott is saying I shouldn't have kick in hand, check hand size. Not sure why. You shouldn't have kick in hand and check hand size. My hand size is 6. Paul needs another card. I thought we were right. They were both in hand. That was my hand size of 6. So I don't think I've missed anything. Yeah, I did have 2 web kicks in hand. Maybe that's what people are thinking. So I'm just trying to work out what's going on here. Yeah, I need to rewind the live feed. Because yeah, I do have 2 swinging web kicks here, and you're right, I did play one. So are you saying that I'm owed another card? I think you are. I think that's what they're saying, is that I'm owed another card. Okay, I'll draw another card then. Which is strength. Anyway, so I think that's right. Let me know if I've got that right in the chat. I'm going to use the resource of Peter Parker to play Aunt May. Exhaust Aunt May to heal. Then I'm going to change into Spider-Man form. Then I'm going to play Strength for 2 and use a web shooter counter as a wild resource for 3 to basically do a swinging web kick. Now I'm dealing 8 damage. What do we want to do? Do we want to take out Electro? Or do we want to switch Green Goblin over to the other?
I'd be keen to get rid of Electro, to be honest. Anything that sits there, unless you want me to take care of it. Well,
Okay, people are saying, hang on, people are saying in the chat that I shouldn't have the swinging web kick in hand because I actually used it to pay for the other one. I'm going to have to trust them because they're watching it more closely than I am. You had only drawn 5 cards, you shouldn't have had web kick in hand. Right, apologies for that. So that didn't happen. Let's just undo that. Let's put that one back in there, put the strength back in hand. And what you're saying is that I should have a different card. Right, okay, there we go. So I'm not doing 8 damage. Instead, what have we got here? I've got some allies. I might bring some allies into play and see what happens. I think we're all good now. I've sorted it out. We can't undo the undo. So yeah, so I've got 1 resource here. I've got 2 resources here. Yeah, I could bring something quite big out. So I think we're going to do that.
You've not used your Avengers Mansion yet either, have you?
And I haven't used my Avengers Mansion. I'm going to try and not use it so you can use it.
Oh, thank you.
That was my thinking. Yeah, I'll see what I can do without it. So I'm going to use 1 resource from the web shooter to play the other web shooter. Then I'm going to use 1 resource from that web shooter and 2 from strength and 1 from Indomitable to play Luke Cage. So Luke, my mate, who comes into play with a toughness card. So basically the next time he takes damage, he doesn't take damage. Right, Scott's saying all good, and Russ is feeling guilty for taking my swinging web kick away. No, it's fine. I'm one of those people that if I play if I do something incorrectly, it makes me feel really uncomfortable. So thank you very much for helping us fix that. Right, so Luke has come into play. I still have Black Cat in hand, but I can't do anything with it. No, that's good. Yeah, I'll save Avengers Mansion for you. So, Spider-Man could attack and deal 2. Luke could attack and deal 2. It's just, yeah. Now, are we going to try and take Green Goblin down, or should we try and take Electro down?
I know it's overkill, but using Gamma Slam, if I don't use Gamma Slam, it's just going to be taking up space in my hand.
Sure.
So that could be the way that we defeat Green Goblin.
Okay.
Phase 1 at least.
So I'll concentrate on Electro, and if you can do another 2 to it, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
In fact, did you shoot it when it came into play?
I forgot to, so do that now.
There you go. Nice. There you go. Quick rewind, because you would have done that.
Also, that was the last time.
So, Spider-Man attacks for 2. And then Luke attacks for 2. And that is Electro gone. There you go. He didn't last long. Nice. Right. I'm done. Whew, what a turn.
Cool. So, 1 time token on each Quinjet.
Yeah, nice. I assume you're going to use the first one.
Let's just tap the Avengers Mansions first. So mine, add yours if you've not used it.
Yep, there you go. So that one and that one. So you get 2 cards. The cards you've drawn are Strength and Strength in numbers. Card draw, card draw.
Okay.
Now, don't forget, you've also got the Private Security Specialist on you.
Yeah. So let's discard the first Quinjet to pay for Vision.
Yep. Quinjet number 1 is discarded, which means Vision comes into play. Okay.
When we defeat the first phase Green Goblin,
Yep.
I assume it's Norman that comes back.
I think so, yes.
Or not, I don't know.
Or not, I don't know. Where's me rule book? Because there is a little rule book that comes with it. Here we go, Green Goblin. Let's see if there's anything in here about it. Modular encounter sets. When the villain stage is defeated, the next stage of the villain deck enters play on the same side as the just defeated stage. There you go.
So it stays Green Goblin.
It stays Green Goblin. Yeah. Oh, there's also strategy tips on how to defeat this scenario. Yeah, we didn't read them. Never mind. Right.
Right, so we go ahead and Gamma Slam.
You can't at the moment.
Oh.
Because the Private Security Specialist has guard.
So use Vision to ping off the Private Security Specialist.
Yeah, so Vision attacks, takes the consequential damage, gets rid of the Private Security Guard. There you go. And then Gamma Slam.
Gamma Slam.
Paid for with
everything except Strength in numbers.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So deal X damage,
10 damage.
where X is the amount of damage that you have sustained, which is 10. But it goes down to 0. And then we interrupt this game to switch to stage 2. So stage 2 Green Goblin is basically a bit bigger than stage 1. It does the same sort of stuff, just more. So when revealed, deal 4 indirect damage to each player. Not just each player in hero form, but each player. And he's now on 36 health. Now you can spread that damage out however you want. Well, I can't, so I'm down to 9. So good job I went home. Okay, how do you want to take the 4 damage? Oh, I have Luke Cage. Oh, actually, yeah, I could just take it all on Luke Cage, and then the toughness goes.
Brad's saying that Luke loses his tough status guard when he attacked.
Does he? Oh, because he takes consequential damage. Yeah, thank you. Right. Thank you very much, Brad. I forgot the consequential damage. So yeah, I'm going to take the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Wow, Luke's got 5 health. He's going to be around for a while. Okay, we're good. So how do you want to split the 4 damage?
Okay, 1 for vision.
Yep. Are you going to take the other 3?
No. Let's kill Hawkeye. He spent all his arrows anyway.
He has, yeah. Right, so 1 damage on Hawkeye.
2.
You've got 2 left. Yeah, they're telling me I shouldn't have attacked with Luke. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I should have waited, defended with him, absorbed a load of damage like this. That would have been the better play.
3. I'll take 1 for Hulk. So she's down to 4.
Down to 4. You got 1 left.
And let's kill Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl. Okay.
Squirrel Girl.
All right. Falcon is still ready. Vision is exhausted, but Falcon is ready.
So She-Hulk hasn't done anything yet. So
Nope. So you could go home and heal for 5.
Oh,
or
yeah.
attack for 3.
Yeah. I'm going to flip and
Flip.
heal.
And then recover 5. So you're back up to 9.
Yeah.
Okay. And Falcon. Is he going to do anything or not?
No.
Right. So we're all done, I think. Oh no, you got strength in numbers.
Yeah, I might as well. I'm going to play it. Exhaust
Okay.
Falcon, draw 1 card.
Draw 1 card. And you've drawn Avengers Assemble. Which costs 4. So
Yeah, okay.
won't be playing that. Right. End of that phase. So we ready all of our cards. And you are drawing up to 6. Which is the rest of your deck. So you have all of the rest of your cards.
I'm actually going to discard Avengers Assemble as well.
Okay, right. So you draw the rest of your deck, which is Superhuman Strength, which is your own card.
Yeah.
Another Strength in Numbers and a Wonder Man. And First Aid.
Yeah.
And then because your deck is empty, you get dealt an encounter card, which will be revealed the next time you reveal encounter cards. And then you shuffle your deck and you draw another 2 cards. Joseph's just joined in the chat. Peter's just joined in. Thank you very much for joining in. Yes, we just managed to get through to stage 2 with a nicely timed Gamma Slam. And then Jennifer went home and had a lie down.
Yeah.
Watched a bit of TV.
And a stiff drink.
Stiff drink, did some paperwork. Right, okay, so the 2 new cards that you've drawn is Ground Stomp and Maria Hill. So Maria Hill leadership and Ground Stomp is your own.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. So we've got that encounter card, which I need to remember. Now, me, I'm going to keep Black Cat and I'm just going to draw 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've done my hand right this time. Okay, so yeah, that is the end of the player phase. So the villain phase, 2 threat on the main scheme. So the main scheme is back up to the magic number of 9 again. And then the villain activates. So first of all, against me, the villain is attacking me because I am in hero form, and he's going to be attacking me for 4. Now, I think I'm fine. I think I'm taking that. So my spider sense kicks in and I get a card. And then he's attacking me for 4 plus a boost card, which is a boost of 1. So that's 5 damage. That's okay. I'm all right with that. I'm down to 4. But I know you've just drawn a med kit. So just in case. And I've actually got my med team as well. So right, and against you, he's scheming. But instead of scheming, we remove a madness counter from the state of madness instead. Right, there we go. Ricky's saying, is Luke exhausted? I don't think he is. Right, so
Counter cards.
counter cards. So one on me and another one for you. So my encounter card is Advance, the villain schemes, but it doesn't scheme. It removes another card from State of Madness. State of Madness is now down to 1 madness counter. Right, and your 2 cards, Mark. The first one is a hired gun. Now we've had that one before. So you can either give the villain a face down boost card or place 2 infamy counters on criminal enterprise. Well, you can't do the second one.
Yeah, okay.
So he gets a boost card. And then your second card is... Now we've drawn Shadow of the Past. How many games have you played of this before, Mark? You said 5 or 6?
Yeah.
How many times has this card come out?
Never seen it before.
Wow. Right. I've played this game about 8 times. It's come out once. So this is quite a rare occurrence for this card to come out. This is a card from the standard encounter set. So it is in the deck for every game, but it doesn't often come out. And when it does come out, we get this special set of cards which I've set aside because each hero has a nemesis, which is a special set of cards that when this card comes out, these will get shuffled into that deck. It's very cool. It's very thematic, but you might not see it because I could cancel it. Would you like me to cancel that? I think you would.
I think, yeah, for your benefit more than anything.
Well, it's your card.
Oh, is it?
It's your card, yeah. This was your second encounter card. So,
oh, it's the treachery one. It's not the obligation. Sorry, okay.
No, it's a treachery. Yeah, it's just got Spider-Man's picture on. So if we didn't cancel this, Titiana, which is your nemesis, would come out with all of her nasty bad cards. But yeah, I've got enhanced spider sense. I am in hero form. I can totally do it. Yeah. So we're cancelling that, and we're going to use Helicarry to pay for it. Oh, web shooters should have been exhausted when you use them. I forgot to do that, but I'm going to use it now. So there you go. I've paid for it with a web shooter. Whew. There we go. We're safe. Shadow of the Past has gone. There you go. Okay, right. It is, I believe... I didn't ready your cards at the end of the round. Thank you very much for the chat for reminding me. It's our go. And it's your first. So 1 time token on the Quinjet, which is now up to 4. I think we're doing okay. Famous last words.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yes, Rick. So yeah, at the end of the player phase, all of your cards ready, which basically means you are there for whenever the villain does anything, you can do stuff to react.
Do you desperately need a card from my Avengers Mansion?
Let's have a look at... Well, I'd like to play the med kit, which is going to cost me 3. I do have 1 there and 2 other cards. I could probably do with 1 card, yeah. But I could just use my own.
No, go on, you take it. So I'll tap my Avengers Mansions for you to draw a card.
Oh, right. Okay, you're doing that now. Yeah, because that gives me a bit more thinking time, doesn't it? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, right. Okay. I've drawn my armoured vest. Should we ever need to go into defence mode? Yeah, we might need to, actually. Yeah, because I am a protection hero, so I could do the armoured defence with the defence mode. I don't have my counter punch. Right, okay. Yeah, it's interesting what I said at the start about you choose one of the aspects and then you build your character around that aspect. She-Hulk with leadership aspect is very, very different from She-Hulk with aggression. So even though it's the same character, the deck plays in a completely different way.
Yeah. Just wondering whether to flip or not.
If you flipped...
Quite like to do another heal, you see.
Yeah.
Because he's swinging quite hard now, isn't he? Hitting for 4.
Hitting for 4.
Going to pull.
Yeah. And yeah, he does have that boost card. So I'm just seeing if there's anything in the rules about the boost card. And there isn't. So I think we've got it right. I think the next time it needs to boost, that is an extra card.
Right. In which case, I'm going to recover. It's boring, but I'm going to recover for 5. So she goes up to 14.
Yeah. So exhaust to recover. Back up to 14.
Let's tap the Avenger's Tower to reduce the cost of the next Avenger allied played by 1.
Yeah. Which will be Wonder Man.
Well...
That's all you've got, isn't it?
I've got Maria Hill as well.
She's not an Avenger.
Oh, of course, thank you, yeah.
She wants to be.
Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Wonder Man, who I'll pay for with Ground Stomp.
Yeah. So Wonder Man comes into play. And as an additional cost for him to attack, you must discard a card from hand. But his attack is 3, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
It just so happens that the hired gun has got 3 health.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. Okay, yeah. Yeah, all right. Get rid
So
of
many choices.
superhuman strength to pay Wonder Man.
Yeah, so Wonder Man attacks for 3.
Smack the hired gun.
Get rid of the hired gun. Okay.
And he takes 1 damage. And
1 consequential damage. Yep.
I'm going to then spend my first aid and strength in numbers to play Maria Hill.
Yep.
So each player now draws a card.
Okay, so you get emergency. Oh, nice. Drawn a card that I needed.
I'll thwart with Maria Hill.
Yeah, so thwart for 2, taking a consequential damage, putting the main scheme back down to 7.
And that's me, mate.
Okay, Falcon and Vision stay there. Your go is done. My go. Right. So, I am in hero form. We can start doing stuff, but... and then I'll probably go home and I'll probably heal up with Aunt May. So, yeah, let's put some beat down on, I think. Yeah, so we're going to play Tackle as a hero action, which costs 3 to play, but it's a green card, so I'm going to pay for it with Power of Protection, which counts double when paying for a green card. And also the Helicarrier. And then, so I stun the enemy, and then because I paid for it with a physical resource, where's my stun cards gone? I also deal it 3 damage. So he's stunned, and I've dealt him 3 damage.
Nice.
There you go. Nice little combo. I will then use Avenger's Mansion to draw a card. Aha! Mockingbird. Which comes into play and stuns an enemy, which I don't need to. Right, so Luke is going to attack for 2, and I am going to attack for 2. So Luke takes consequential damage. That's another 4 down. He's now down to 29. There you go, down to 29. Now, is there anything else I want to do while I'm in hero form? I don't think there is. So I'm going to go home. So Spider-Man flips back into Peter Parker form. Then we're going to exhaust Aunt May to recover 4 health, because she makes me a nice cup of hot chocolate. Okay, so I think I'm going to play... See, Black Widow is quite nice for thwarting, but we're doing all right with the thwarting. I think I'm going to put the med team into play. So the med team is a support card. It's going to cost me 3 to play. I should have used the web shooter. Never mind. We'll use that one, and that one to pay for the med team. So the med team comes into play with 3 counters, but then I am going to exhaust it straight away to remove one of them. Oh no, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Because next turn I can just use Aunt May and then flip. So I don't actually need the med team. Bear with us a minute. I might change my mind on that. I might play Black Widow instead. Yeah, let's play Black Widow. So I got Black Widow, Luke Cage, and Aunt May. Aunt May's an ally? No, it's a support card. Right, okay. So I've still got 1 card in hand. Is Black Widow going to do something? Yeah, actually, I am going to thwart with Black Widow. There you go. So the main scheme is down to 5. Okay, and we are done. Right, it's the end of the player phase. What would you like to do with your emergency card? Are you going to keep it in hand? Please. You're going to discard it. Okay, so I'll do your card draw first.
Cool.
Right, you have drawn your own cards: Legal Practice, 1-2 Punch, Hellcat, and Superhuman Strength. And then 2 neutral cards, or basic cards, Strength and Energy. Okay, let's ready your cards. Right, I'm keeping the Armoured Vest and I get another 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. My deck is empty. I get dealt a card. And then I get 1 more. Oh, I've got Nova. Oh, very nice. See, I'm seeing a lot of these cards for the first time because I've got the latest expansion packs, but not really looked at them. I just bought them, opened them, sleeved them, and then put them in a box. Okay, right. So I have my 6 cards. You've got your 6 cards. That's the end of the player phase. We now go to the villain phase. 2 threat on the main scheme, putting it up to 7. And now Green Goblin is attacking none of us because we are both in alter ego form. So he schemes, and the first scheme removes a counter from State of Madness, which immediately flips both cards over. So State of Madness turns into Criminal Enterprise with 4 counters on it, and Norman Osborn stage 2 is there. I'm just seeing if there's anything different. Yeah, so when Norman Osborn would attack, it's placed 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise instead. Is that what it was before?
Okay. Just 1, I think.
Yeah, it was 1 before, it's now 2. But the other interrupt is exactly the same. So when instead of damaging him, we take counters off Criminal Enterprise instead. And it's got a scheme value of 2, which is the same as it was before. Right, okay. So that was from... Oh, he's still stunned. What was that from? That was from him attacking you.
Yes. Both of us, yeah.
Well, no, that was just you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was Green Goblin scheming, but instead of scheming, it removed a madness counter.
Right. So then this time...
This time it's attacking. Okay. Oh, no, now it schemes, yes. Yeah, which is actually now 2, plus this boost card, which is a special one, plus another boost card, which is another special one. Right, okay, so lots of stuff going on. 3 threat goes on the scheme. So the main scheme is now up to 10.
Okay.
And we have boost effects on both of these cards. The first one is all in a day's work, which is to put an infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. And then the second one is place an infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. Right, okay. So there you go. There are 6 counters on Criminal Enterprise.
Okay.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Right, that is the villain activated. We now get encounter cards. And your encounter card is It's your obligation. So, you have two choices. You can either exhaust Jennifer Walters to remove legal work from the game, or give the main scheme an acceleration token to discard it.
I'll exhaust.
Right, okay. So you're going to sort that out. That has gone out of the game. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Right, my two cards. The first card, oh, we have a side scheme. So for those people who don't know how to play the game, there are things called side schemes which go in addition to the main scheme. So this is payoff. Now what this means is this comes with 4 threat on it. And literally, like the name suggests, it is a side scheme. Whenever we now remove threat, we can choose where to remove it from. We don't have to remove it from the side scheme at all, but as long as this side scheme is in play, the current first player will get an extra encounter card every time they get dealt encounter cards. So that's something we might need to think about. And my second card is a private security specialist. So there you go. I've got a private security specialist on me. And that is the end of the villain phase. Start player passes. I believe it is my turn. Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because I am in alter ego form, I am going to use Aunt May to get 4 hit points back. So I'm back to 12. Now then, what are we going to do? Are we going to bother with this side scheme? Or are we going to try and rush the win?
He's got 29 health, yeah?
29 health, yeah.
And we have to get rid of this 6.
First, yes.
Well, I'm not going to...
I mean, I say rush the win. I don't mean this turn.
No.
Just me. Because we're both doing all right for health.
Yeah.
Because the main scheme is now at 10. So if we leave it any longer, it is going to pop and we're going to go to the next stage.
Yeah, and I don't want that to happen.
No, I mean, neither of us know what the next stage is, but it's not good.
No. Let's play it safe. Let's get rid of this side scheme.
Okay, right. So let's have a look at how we're going to do it. Do we have something? So I've got Luke and I've got Black Widow and I've got Peter Parker. Am I going to play anything for? Yes, I think I am.
I mean, if you want me, I'm happy to have a fairly boring turn and clear that threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you could, that'd be cool.
Okay, you focus on punching, and
I'll do the punching.
A few calls.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to use the resource generated by Peter Parker to bring Nova into play, using also the power of protection. So that's and also Indomitable. So there's 4. So Nova comes into play. That's my 3rd ally. I can't have any more. Then I am going to switch forms. I'm then going to use Spider-Man to punch the private security specialist for 2. We're then going to use Luke Cage to punch the private security specialist for another 2. So that's the private security specialist gone.
It looks, mate, you might need to reduce your health dial.
Why is that?
According to Wazza, you never removed the 4 health after initially taking the card in the last round.
Taking the card in the last round.
You had 4, then went to 8. If playing a card instead of Black Widow, but never took it off. Should be on 8 now.
Oh.
Oh, because you were going to heal. You were going to...
Yeah, no, I've used Aunt May twice. I've definitely used Aunt May twice.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's right. I do trust Wazza, but yeah, I've used Aunt May last round because I went home and used Aunt May, and this round I've used Aunt May and then changed back. So I've effectively used her sort of consecutively twice. So I think that's right, because otherwise I'd have been dead. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Matt is there in the Twitch chat saying he used Aunt May twice. There you go. Thank you very much, Matt. Okay, so we've done 2 damage to that. That's that done. Black Widow we're not going to use because I'm going to keep her for the ability. And Nova. Yeah, let's use Nova. So we're going to exhaust Nova. Takes consequential damage. Deals 2 damage to Norman Esborn, but that's 2 counters removed off Criminal Enterprise. Criminal Enterprise now has 4 counters on it. Okay, right. I still have a few cards in hand. And I think I am going to... Now, Avengers Mansion, do you want it?
I don't need it desperately to get rid of the side scheme and a little bit of the additional threat on the main scheme.
See, I don't need it either. But... yeah, no, I think I'm good without it. So,
is that your hand at the bottom there? The armored
yes.
vest?
Armoured Vest, Indomitable and Mockingbird. But I'm not really going defensive.
Oh, if you draw an extra card, you might be able to get Mockingbird into play, perhaps?
Yeah, well, I've already got 3 allies.
Ah.
And Mockingbird's ability when she comes into play stuns an enemy. So I was going to keep Bobby until next round.
Okay.
So...
well,
no, I think
throw me the extra card if you don't need it.
Yeah, I am going to play Indomitable to put an Armoured Vest on. And then, there you go. You can have an extra card from my Avengers Mansion.
Cool.
You've drawn Lead from the Front, a leadership card.
Okay.
Oh, I've even got extra resources here if I wanted to. But no, I'm going to keep my web shooters for now. Yeah, we're all good. Right, your go.
Okay.
Shenanigans is happening. 1 counter on the Quinjet.
I'll tap my Avengers Mansion to draw another card, please.
Yep. You have drawn Squirrel Girl. Wow, it's a lot of cards in hand.
Yeah, not for long. Okay, well, I'll tap the Avengers Tower to reduce the cost of Hellcat to 2.
Hellcat, yep.
So I play Hellcat using, say, energy.
Energy, yep. Now, this is your 5th.
Yeah.
Are you allowed 5?
Oh, no.
You're not.
Oh, no, not because of Maria Hill. Okay.
Because Maria Hill is not an Avenger.
Yeah.
So you could do something with one of those characters first.
I'll thwart with Maria Hill.
Yeah. So Maria thwarts and then disappears because she's too tired and needs a lie down. So that's 2 threat from the... Are you getting rid of it off the side scheme or the main scheme?
Do the side scheme first.
Okay. That's down to 2. And then Hellcat comes into play.
So Maria Hill has gone.
Has gone, yep.
Hellcat comes into play, paid for with the energy.
Yep.
I'll then play Legal Practice.
Legal Practice. So Alter Ego, thwart. Choose and discard up to 5 cards from hand and remove 1 threat from a scheme for each card discarded this way. Right, okay.
Do we want to punch him back to Goblin form or not this turn?
I mean, we could, because he's stunned, so then he's not going to do anything. Or you could just remove 5 threat from the main scheme and just put the whole game back into our control.
Yeah, okay. Although
your superhuman strength is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I've got the 1-2 punch. I could do a nice slice of damage, but there's no rush particularly. So
don't forget you're already exhausted.
Let's control the threat. So let's get rid of everything. I'll hold on to Squirrel Girl. There you go. So that's 4.
So 4 cards,
So
4 threat
2
off the main scheme.
2 off the side scheme.
I think it's got to be 4 off 1.
I don't think so. It says choose and discard up to 5 cards from your hand. Remove 1 threat from a scheme
Okay,
for each card discarded this way.
So 2 off that and 2 off the main one. So that side scheme has gone. Good job.
So we're now on 8 threat for the main scheme. Is that
8
right?
threat for the main scheme, yes.
Okay, let's thwart with Hellcat.
So Hellcat thwarts for 2, down to 6 threat on the main scheme. And yeah, people are saying in the chat that your ally limit is higher than normal because Mark has the Triskelion into play, which increases the number of allies that he can have by 1.
Yeah. Yeah, but it can't be a...
As long as they're... No, so the Triskelion increases it by 1 full stop, and the Avengers Tower increases it by 1 as long as they are all Avengers.
Yeah. And I'll flip to Hulk side.
Okay, which is 2 damage.
Yeah.
So that's 2 counters off Criminal Enterprise, leaving it with 2 counters.
Yeah, and that's me.
Okay, right, and I was first, so that is the end of the player phase. So I'm going to ready all of the cards. Do you want to keep Squirrel Girl in hand?
Yeah, I will.
And the 5 cards that you're... no, it's 3 cards. So you've drawn Ground Stomp and Focused Rage from your own cards. And Avengers Assemble.
Nice.
Yeah, now that you've got 4 Avengers. Right, okay, let's ready my cards. So I've got my 3 allies. I've got my 2 web shooters. I've got Aunt May at home. I've got my armoured vest. I've got endurance. And I'm drawing another 4 cards. Oh. Got some combos here. Nice. Right then. So that's the end of the player phase done. Villain phase. 2 threat on the main scheme, putting it back up to 8. Then the villain activates against me, and it is scheming, and it schemes for 2. No, it's not scheming, it's attacking. But it doesn't attack. Instead of attacking, it gets 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. Right, okay. Oh no, it doesn't, because it's stunned. So it doesn't do that, the stun goes instead. There you go. I think that's what happens. Then against you, it's attacking, but it doesn't attack.
I don't know if it removes the stun, to be honest, because it says when he would attack.
Yeah.
So he's not actually attacking, is he?
Oh, I see what you mean. He does say instead. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm going to put that back until the chat tells us otherwise. So the stun stays, 2 counters go on, and then against you, another 2 counters go on. So we're back up to 6 counters on Criminal Enterprise.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. That it's a replacement effect, so the attack doesn't happen, which means the stun doesn't come off. Damage on Hellcat. Somebody told me. Yes, thank you. So just to go through your characters, Falcon's got 2 damage, Vision's got 2, Wonder Man's got 1, and Hellcat's got 1.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Encounter cards. So 1 for me and 1 for you. That is the encounter deck empty. So what happens when the encounter deck empties? We get an acceleration token on the main scheme. So that is now going to be 3 threat a turn. Is it 3 threat or is it 4? I guess it's 3.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah, it's +1. Yeah, I didn't know if it was +1 per player. Okay, we have a side scheme. Another side scheme has come out. This is Oscorp Manufacturing. It's got some flavour text. Despite objections from shareholders, Oscorp now exclusively produces military-grade weaponry. When revealed, Norman Osborn, yes, place an additional 1 per player threat here. So we normally put 4 threat, but we're getting an extra 2, so we've got 6 threat on that side scheme. And while that side scheme is in play, we have another acceleration token. So basically this main scheme now has accelerated quite a lot. Right, Mark. You've got Lightning Bolt as a treachery card. Now, I could cancel that if we need to, but let's read what it does. When revealed, discard 2 cards from the encounter deck. Take 1 indirect damage for each boost icon discarded this way. So potentially this could be none to 4 or 5 damage. You okay with that?
Yeah, I can take it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So Dervalch has said it has to be the same scheme. Now, I'm not going to undo that now because we've moved on since then. But thank you very much. It's good to know that your legal work would have had to have been the same scheme. That's obviously in some FAQ somewhere. Yeah, the way it's worded, I agree with you, Mark.
Well, I could have rejigged the way that we removed the threat.
Oh, yeah, you could have done.
Hellcat.
And Scott is also saying that the stun is removed.
Okay.
So, again, we can fix that if that is definitely the ruling. I just take 2 counters off Criminal Enterprise and remove the stun card instead. So, that's that fix. So the Lightning Bolt is going off. I'm going to discard the top 2 cards from the encounter deck. And I'm counting the number of boost icons. And unfortunately, there is 4 boost icons. So you take 4 indirect damage.
Okay.
How do you want to take it?
Puts it all on me.
Thought you might. There you go. Right. I think that is the encounter cards dealt with. It is. So first player token passes to you, and it is your go. Shall I put another time token on the Quinjet?
It's almost moot because I can only spend 4 and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's been gone for like a month.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to tap Avengers Mansion to draw a card, please.
Yep. Okay, you have drawn a Quinjet.
Okay.
So what we're going to do? Do we have a plan? Are we going to deal with the side scheme?
I think it'd be nice to clear that one because, I mean, 2 acceleration tokens is nasty.
Yeah, that's going to be going up now by 4 a turn.
And if we flip him to Goblin side, so that slows that will put a break on the scheming for the time being.
Yeah.
Then we can focus on smacking him a bit, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep, that works for me.
Okay. All right, I'll tap Avengers Tower.
Yep. To reduce the cost of
Squirrel
Girl down to 1.
I'll pay for it with Focus Rage, say.
Okay, yep. So Squirrel Girl comes into play. So you're at your ally limit of 5.
Yeah.
But they are all Avengers. Oh, you don't have the resources to play Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the best time anyway, because 2 of them are on 1 health left, aren't they?
True, but it would be pretty awesome to get rid of like 5, 6, 7, 7 threat or lots of damage or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. 8, 9 damage. So if we're going to push, so we need to clear that side scheme and then start punching, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Now I can't do much damage this turn. I don't have any swinging web kicks or anything like that yet.
Right. No, I'm not going to do much this turn either, to be honest.
Oh, after Squirrel Girl enters play, deal 1 damage to each enemy. I forgot that.
Thank you.
There you go. Criminal Enterprise is down to 3.
So thwart with Hellcat for 2.
So thwart with Hellcat for 2. So Hellcat takes a consequential damage, and that is 2 threat off which scheme?
Off the side scheme, please.
The side scheme. So side scheme is down to 4.
Also thwart with Squirrel Girl for 1. Same scheme.
Yep. Okay, it's down to 3. Squirrel the Girl takes a consequential damage. Russ has just noticed that the choice of playmat that I've used is thematic. Yeah, I've got 5 different playmats, and I always try and pick the one that I think is most suitable.
Discard ground stomp to attack with Wonderman.
Yep. So that's 3 damage, which is Criminal Enterprise is now cleared. So that flips over. We get 4 counters on the State of Madness. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Norman Osborn flips over to Green Goblin, which means we both take 4 indirect damage.
Oh, bollocks, I always forget that.
I forgot that. Now, I think I'm going to take that because I'm on 12, so I'm all right. What about you, though? You're on 10. You're all right on 10, aren't you? Because you're going to be getting your Gamma Slam again soon.
Put it down to 6.
Yeah. Got to look after your peoples.
Yeah. And then basic attack with She-Hulk for 3.
Right, so now we're starting to hit Goblin.
Did you flip earlier? I can't remember.
Yes.
I don't think so, because I've got quite a small...
Oh, no, you were 4. Yeah, so you've not flipped yet. So you could flip back if you wanted to this turn. But
so first of all, do the basic attack for 3.
3 damage, down to 26.
26.
Yeah, I mean, I can hit it for a bit.
Yeah, I will flip to Jennifer Walters.
Yep.
And that's it. I think I'll call it there.
Okay, right, so my go. I will use my Avengers Mansion at the start to draw. Got the power of protection. Right, now, I was going to go into defensive mode this turn because I have a combo of cards set up so that it won't actually damage me, and I think I can hit it back and do all kinds of stuff.
Awesome.
I've also got Mockingbird, but Mockingbird can't come into play unless I use one of my characters, which I could. Oh, we could do that. We could get rid of that side scheme. Because you've already done quite a lot of work on getting rid of that side scheme, so I think I'll finish it off. So Black Widow is going to go and do a bit of thwarting. So that's 2 threat removed from the side scheme. It's down to 1. Black Widow is now out of play. She's gone back to Russia. Then I can play Mockingbird. So Mockingbird comes into play. I have to pay 3 for that. I will pay for it with Strength for 2 and this Web Shooter for 1. Yeah, that goes. When Mockingbird comes into play, we stun an enemy. Which means it's not actually going to attack me. And I kind of want it to attack me. Okay, now let's take that back. That comes back, that comes back, that counter goes back on there. Yeah, I want it to attack me this turn because then I can do the counter punch. So, what are we going to do instead? Oh, wow, I've got lots of cards that give me lots of resources and nothing to spend them on. Okay, so Mockingbird is not in play. I mean, I could just bring it into... No, I don't want to. Yeah, okay, so we're going to attack with Luke for 2. Have you watched any of the Netflix Marvel TV series?
Some. I watched the first season of what's that girl? The private eye lady.
Jessica Jones.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. I enjoyed that very much.
Right.
I started Luke Cage, but we didn't get far into it.
Yeah, we've watched the first 2 series of Daredevil, which were fantastic. We've not seen series 3. We've not watched any of Jessica Jones, but I heard Luke Cage kind of went downhill, and then Iron Fist went even more downhill. We kind of want to watch them all because we're completionists. But I would strongly recommend the Daredevil one. Certainly season 1 and season 2 of Daredevil were very good. Anyway, there you go. Side thing just to confuse me, so I forget where I'm up to. Nova was thwarting for 1. So that is the side scheme gone.
Brilliant.
Oscorp manufacturing has been closed down. Now, Spider-Man hasn't done anything yet.
I think we've got him on the ropes. I think we'll have him next turn.
I think. Well, he's still got 24 health.
Yeah.
I mean, if you draw your Gamma Slam, and I can get my swinging web kicks, then yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just this turn I'm not doing very much. Oh, this is an upgrade. I'd forgotten that. I need to put that into play. It's not an interrupt. Right, I have something to actually play. So I'm going to play... go on, we'll use this web shooter. So we'll use that web shooter to put Indomitable into play. Right, okay. I'm going to keep that. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that. Yeah, I'm not going to play anything else. So we've got Spider-Man. Spider-Man is going to attack for 2. So Green Goblin is down to 22 health. And the YouTube chat seems to have been spammed with somebody putting numbers in there. So if any of my patron supporters have got admin privileges on the YouTube chat, then yeah, please get rid of those messages. David's watching in the chat. There you go.
That's YouTube is at the top window.
The YouTube is the top window, Twitch is the bottom window.
Oh, clever.
And Jerome is saying I should watch season 1 of Jessica Jones. Yes, it's on the list. We have a big list of TV series to watch, and that is on there. So that's interesting, actually. So the YouTube messages that are spam have been deleted, but they're still showing up on my chat window because of the plugin that I'm using is actually showing them up. So yeah, there you go. It's interesting. I don't think I'm doing very much else. I mean, I've got 5 cards in hand, but I think that's it. I think that's what I'm doing. So we're all done.
Yeah.
Let's ready all of our cards, and let's draw you...
discard this Quinjet.
You're discarding the Quinjet. Yeah, you don't need that, do you? Right, 5 more cards for you, sir. You get 1-2 Punch, Focused Rage of your own cards, Genius as a basic card, and then Strength in Numbers and the Power of Leadership as leadership cards.
Cool.
Right, okay, and I am drawing no cards. Oh, I should have been discarding. I probably would have discarded that one, but that's it. I got cards that generate massive amounts of resources and nothing to do with them. Okay, right. Villain phase. So against you, the villain is scheming, but it's not scheming, it's removing a madness counter instead. So that's that done. Against me, it is attacking, and now we're going to see something that we haven't seen yet in the game, which is, it's a big part of the game if you're playing certain heroes, is that you can actually defend. So this is what I'm doing. I'm being attacked for 4, and I am going to defend with Spider-Man. Now, defending exhausts the character, but the defense value, which for me is 4, is actually reduced off the attack, so it can protect you from taking damage. The boost card is place an infamy counter on criminal enterprises. If you can't, remove a madness counter from State of Madness. So I don't actually take any damage whatsoever. And then I have 2 responses. So I have Indomitable. After your hero defends, I can discard it to ready my hero. Because that's the downside of defending. If you defend, you are exhausted, which means you then can't do anything on your next turn. Well, I say can't do anything. You can't do one of your basic things. And I also have Counterpunch. So this is an event. After your hero defends against an enemy attack. Oh, I also draw a card for Spidey Sense. Basically, deal damage to the enemy equal to your hero's attack. So 2. So got a quick counter punch in. Green Goblin is down to 20. I think you might be right, Mark. I think we've got this.
Yeah.
Got this done. Right. So that is the enemy's activations. We now get cards. Mark, your card is Assault. This card gains Surge because you are in alter ego form.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to put Threat on the main scheme.
Okay.
Yeah, forgot to put Threat on the main scheme. Did I draw for being attacked? Yes, I did. I went back and did it. So it's 1, 2... It's going to be 3, but I assume you're objecting.
Yeah, of course. So 2.
Yep. So 2 goes on. It's on 10. And did we reveal the extra card? We didn't, did we? No, I was about to, and then I realised I hadn't put... Yeah, we drew Assault, and we haven't drawn the second card. The second card is Private Security Specialist. So you have a Private Security Specialist on you. And my card is All in a Day's Work, 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. If not, 2 off State of Madness. Unfortunately, he is switched back. Oh. Right, so I'm going to use damage counters, actually. So 4 counters on Criminal Enterprise. And Green Goblin flips to Norman Osborn's side. Ah. Right. And Bobby's here in the chat. And yes, we're playing on normal mode. We were both scared because we hadn't played this scenario before and neither of us are that experienced with the game. Right, we're done. It's our go.
And you're first player, yeah?
I am first player. Now, I've got lots of cards that generate resources and nothing to do with them. So I'm going to use my Avengers Mansion on me just to see what I get.
Sure.
I've drawn another counter punch. Yeah, okay. I've also got my enhanced Spidey sense that I possibly should have used. I'll keep them in reserve. Okay, well, I think I might play Mockingbird. So we're going to use one from the Web Shooter and Genius to put Mockingbird into play, which stuns Norman Osborn. I mean, I could probably get that 4 infamy counters gone and switch it back to Green Goblin pretty quickly.
Go for it. Then I'll finish him off.
Okay, right. So Spider-Man attacks for 2. That's 2 of the counters gone. Luke Cage attacks for 2. That is Luke gone. That's fine. He'll be back. Yeah. Right, so that's Criminal Enterprise gone, which means Green Goblin flips back over, which means we both take 4 indirect damage. I'm going to put 2 on Mockingbird and 2 on me.
Okay, I'll take it all and go down to 2 health.
Oh. You got Gamma Slam in hand?
No.
But you do have strength in numbers?
Yeah.
You're going to go for the draw?
Yeah.
Do I go home? I think... I'll tell you what. If you think we're going to do it this round, I'm going to attack with Nova and I'm going to attack with Mockingbird.
Go for it.
Okay, so that's another 3. So it's down to 17.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go home. So Spider-Man flips over and then Aunt May exhausts and I go back to 10 health.
Cool.
And I do have a spare resource for Peter Parker if I need to, but no, I think I'm done. Right then, off you go.
Okay, Avengers Mansion to draw a card.
Yep. Avengers Mansion to draw a card, which is Legal Practice, which I don't think we need at this point.
Okay, we play strengthen numbers.
Yeah.
Tap.
How many are you exhausting?
do the whole lot. So that's
the whole lot.
Give me, yeah.
Because you can always bring Hellcat back, can't you?
I'll straighten them up in a minute. So.
Okay. So you've exhausted all 5 cards to draw 5 cards. So don't forget you've got the private security specialist on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cards that you've drawn are Strength in Numbers, Hawkeye as leadership cards, and also the Power of Leadership. And you've drawn the Superhuman Law Division and 1-2 Punch. Unfortunately, you did not draw the Gamma Slam.
It's okay. So we play...
Look at all this. This is card drawing, it's insane.
So first of all, flip to Hulk.
Flip to Hulk. That deals 2 damage to something.
Put it on the private eye.
Yeah. Okay.
Basic attack with Hulk to finish off the private eye.
Finish off the private eye. Yeah. So the private eye is gone.
Avengers Assemble, paid for with Genius, Superhuman Law Division.
You've got power of leadership as well.
Oh yeah, that'll do.
So both of, well, you could use both of the power of leaderships.
Yeah. So strength in number. That means ready each Avenger character and give them +1 thwart and +1
nice! It
attack
readies them.
each.
Wow. Okay.
And attack with all the allies.
Yeah.
Doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and just get rid of Focus Rage to pay for Wonder Man.
Yeah. So it's 14. Down to 3.
And then 1-2 Punch played for with Legal Practice to ready She-Hulk.
So technically you would have had to do the response at the point you did the attack.
All right. So
but that's fine. Yeah. So you did the basic attack. You respond to that by readying She-Hulk, and then done. There you go. We won. Yeah. Huzzah. Well, first of all, thank you very much for playing. That was fantastic. I love this game.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
No, that was really good to play against you, because it's a game we both like, and the chance of us playing it together in person is practically 0. So this was really good. For anybody who is stuck at home, who has the ability to do this, do it. Because I've felt like I've been with you in a room playing a game with you, and for me it's felt pretty much like the same experience as I would have had from playing it. Yeah, that was really good. Now maybe we should have gone on expert mode, because I think we were fine.
Well, we did well, and you never even went to the second scheme either.
No. Shall we keep that secret, what the second part of the scheme is?
Sure.
Because I don't know. I don't know. So the next time I play, it's going to be a bit of a surprise. Anyway, we did it. What were we? 2 hours, 20 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 20 minutes of chat beforehand, so it was a 2-hour game, which is absolutely fine. We weren't playing particularly quick, but that, for me, that's the right pace for this game. Taking your time, having a think about it. And thank you very much to everybody in the chat for helping us out with the bits that we forgot, rules-wise, and also the couple of other little bits that we forgot. But yeah, what an ending. Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
For like, what did you do? 23 damage? No, 20 damage.
It's about 14 or so on that last.
Yeah, 14 on that, plus the double 3 from She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So I needed to do that little bit myself, didn't I?
Yeah, we can say that.
Yeah. Oh, you mean you had it covered, did you? Yeah, cool. So your deck worked as you thought?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know if I needed 2 Quinjets particularly, because they ended up being slightly redundant.
Well, it's like the fact that there's 2 Avengers Mansions. I think the reason there's 2 in the deck is it increases the chance of you getting one in the first few turns of the game. Yeah. So it could be that it's just in there for that and you don't actually need 2 of them in play. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Right, so this was using cards. Obviously, we were playing against Green Goblin, so it was using the Green Goblin expansion pack. We were both using characters from the core set, but we have used cards from other expansion sets to build our deck. So there's definitely cards, I think, in both of our decks from I think I've got cards from Miss Marvel, I think, in here. I think there might be a Captain America card in here as well. Yeah, there's definitely some Captain America cards in here. But yeah, Peter Parker with protection was quite nice. Even though I actually only defended once, it was the choice of characters that I had as well, because protection gives you access to people like Luke Cage, and it also gave me access to the med team that I ended up not using in the end, but that's because I have Aunt May. But yeah, I quite like protection. I don't know what my favourite aspect is. It's probably aggression, even though I'm not really a combat-y type person by nature. I think aggression is probably my favourite one, because I think the first game I ever played of it was Spider-Man with aggression, and I really enjoyed it, so I've got fond memories of when I played. Do you have any favourite aspects?
Not particularly. This is the first time I've actually used the leadership, and I've really, really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I find that having allies is great because they're so flexible.
Yeah.
It can be used to thwart or attack or defend, or, as I've been doing, a massive card draw when you need it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, certainly with the strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Is awesome. But yeah, that was a really good epic last turn. Strength in numbers, draw all the cards, ready them, boost all their attack, and go in. Yeah, cool.
The deck allows for a couple of those massive plays towards the end. It could have been Gamma Slam, but it just happened to be the Avengers Assemble, and
yeah, Gamma Slam was the bottom card of the deck.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that would have done 13 damage if you'd have got the Gamma Slam out. So yeah, there was a few ways of doing it. Anyway, thank you again for joining us. Just a quick shout out of where people can find you and what it is that you do again.
Well, I produce miniature painting tutorials, and you can find me at Sorastro's Painting on YouTube. I'm also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Everywhere.
So yeah, Sorastro's Painting. And how long have you been doing it now? It's a good few years, isn't it?
On a full-time basis, coming up to 4 years.
Wow.
And about 6 years since I did my first video.
Yeah. So it wasn't long after you was doing it for 2 years, sort of part-time, and then you made the switch because you were a music teacher before that, weren't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Hence the musical skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Right. I won't keep you any longer because you've got a family to look after. Keep safe. Keep well. I will talk to you online.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you very much. That was really good. Thank you very much to everybody in the chat. I will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. UK time with Lancaster, a Euro-style game. We're doing a 5-player game of Lancaster tomorrow night, where I'm going to do it exactly the same as what I've done tonight. I'm going to get the game out, I'm going to play it on this table, and I am going to be making moves for all of the 5 players in the game. It's going to be insane, it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you again, Mark. Thank you for everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time. Cheers all. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.